Today I'm going to be going over the perfect training tool to incorporate into your home gym if you're starting your home gym or want to add to your home gym. This is going to be the kettlebell sandbag. So this is from GoRuck. If you guys want to check it out, the link is below. You can save with code Margot, which is my name, 10. They'll give you 10% off your entire order. This piece of equipment is one of my favorite pieces of equipment. I have a multitude of pieces of equipment in my home gym, anything from jerry cans to dumbbells to barbells, but this sandbag, specifically the sand kettlebell, is one of my favorite. If you guys want to stay tuned, I'll be giving you guys a workout that you incorporate in your home gym. The reason I like it, specifically for the sand kettlebell, if you're relatively new, this is nice and easy because you get to understand the movement patterns, which we'll go over some movements today. But if for whatever reason you're tired and you're exhausted and you accidentally drop the bell, you don't have to worry about it breaking like a traditional kettlebell. I love traditional kettlebells and I will continue to use them in my training, but this is a great substitute if you're especially learning certain movements. They have a little more forgiveness to them because of the sand. All right, so we're gonna go over 3 different movements today. Stay tuned because I'm gonna put those 3 different movements into a workout. The first one is gonna be a single arm kettlebell swing. So a traditional kettlebell swing looks like so. You're gonna have your feet underneath your shoulders, toes turned out slightly. You want enough space so that when you hike the kettlebell through your inner thighs, it goes essentially kind of into the inner groin area. Wider base will allow for that. So as I grab the handle, I want to think of a nice long arm. I'm hinging from my hips, slight bend in the knee. And as I pull the kettlebell to my inner thighs, I want to think of keeping the arms long. Then I'm going to extend at the hips, squeeze my butt, pop my hips, and I'm going to guide the bell to about shoulder height distance. So it looks like this. This is a traditional kettlebell swing. Now with the material here with the sandbag, the handle moves a little bit, which makes it a little bit easier because you have a little bit of movement at the backside and at the top here. Now this is a traditional kettlebell swing, Russian style in terms of the height, right, of where you're going. Now for today, we're gonna be going over the single arm kettlebell swing. I've talked about this with a traditional kettlebell. For the sand kettlebell, you're gonna grab directly smack in the middle. My opposite arm is gonna be off to the side. Again, I'm gonna hike the bell and I'm actually gonna rotate my thumb down into my inner thighs versus keeping it straight. This is gonna give a little bit of rotation for the shoulder and the bell. Then as I come back to center, I'm gonna straighten it out so my palm is facing down. Opposite hand comes out like so. So again, it looks like this. Hike the bell, squeeze the butt, transfer momentum from the hips and the bell into this top position. Now again, I rotate in, rotate down. So palm is facing down right there at the top position. I'm going to have a relatively long arm. I like to have a slight bend in my elbow personally for myself. And as I pull in, and then I extend out to almost that straight position. This allows me to hold onto the bell, but also allows me to meet the bell, meaning my shoulders and hips are meeting forward versus being consistently maybe off center like this. We do not want that. That feels awkward and it's hard. So again, that's the first exercise. First movement, single arm kettlebell swing. Again, stay tuned. I'll give you guys a movement here in a second. Second movement that is great with the sand kettlebell is a single arm kettlebell snatch. So kettlebell snatches are one of the more complex movements, but I personally like them because it allows you to understand the timing of hips to shoulders. If you've ever done a barbell snatch, it is a very technical movement. If you ever watched the Olympics, and learning the barbell snatch can be learning like a new language. It can be super hard and difficult, but for the kettlebell snatch, it's a lot easier. So I like to be kind of either in line with the bell or I'll be slightly in front. So that's gonna allow me to close my hips and get a little more of a pop. It's going to be kind of a pop, a swing, a pull, and a punch at the same time. I know it sounds kind of weird, but a single arm kettlebell snatch looks like so. I hit my calf there. But again, as notice as I come down, I personally, because of the sand bell, I like to bend the arm, let the sand come to my shoulder, kind of outside shoulder bicep, and then I'll rotate it around and let it go into the swing. The other option is to let it just swing forward again and get you set up for the next rep. So again, kind of a swing, a pull, a punch, right, depending on the positioning. My arm is relatively straight here, right, small bend as I kind of bring it back down, then punch it forward. But similar concept with my position here, feet about shoulder width distance apart. I may turn my toes out slightly. As I come forward, I swing the bell down, pop my hips, then I kind of bend the arm slightly, and then I punch my arm through the bell. Now, if you plan on doing a lot of repetitions of sand kettlebell snatches, I recommend wearing some gloves or maybe taping across or alternating your hands so you're not always doing it with the same arm. So on the opposite side, looks like so. I swing, punch, pull, or pull, punch, excuse me. I'm kind of pulling my elbow up, punching my arm through. You want to be aggressive right here where that punch is. If I go slow, See, kind of flops over. It will not feel very, very comfortable. But with the sand kettlebell, because it moves, it's a little easier to work with it. Notice that I have a watch on, so I flip over my watch side, so it's facing the inside, so it hits the handle on the outside. So again, this is the second movement, kettlebell snatch. If this is very difficult for you, right, we'll give some options, some variations for the workout for today. But again, I recommend for today's workout to alternate arms, right? So I swing that kettlebell, then I punch it opposing arms. Again, as I bring the bell back, I like to have it more on my arch and heel of my foot versus a toe like I do in the swing. So that's the second exercise, the kettlebell snatch. Third and final exercise for today, the goblet squat with the kettlebell. Now, I personally like to flip it upside down, handle facing down. I do this with a traditional kettlebell. So for today with the sandbag, same thing. Elbows can be nice and close. If you go out, this is just gonna put a lot of pressure on your wrists, so be very careful and gentle, right? So in this position, we have squat position, feet under the shoulders, toes out slightly, push my butt straight down, hip crease below top of the thigh, and then I stand with a goblet squat. If your arms are closer, just be aware of your elbows and knees, making sure elbows and knees don't touch. So goblet squat's a great exercise to incorporate into your loading, right? If you can't do the positioning for whatever reason, right, the loading, positioning, mobility, you can always take the sandbag out and do air squats. I will say that the air squat or the goblet squat will allow you to keep your torso a little more upright because the load is in front of you, right? Torso is here, you're fighting to stay up, it will counterbalance your body as well. So again, third movement today. So we've gone over 3 different educational movements today. The kettlebell single arm swing, the kettlebell snatch, obviously single arm, and then also the goblet squat. So here's today's workout. Make it nice and easy for you. We are going to do 5 single arm swings on one arm, switch 5 swings on the other arm. Again, Russian style, just going to shoulder height. So it looks like so. So we'll do 5 on the right arm, then you'll do 5 on the left arm. If you want to start with the left arm, that's totally fine. Then you're going to perform 5 kettlebell swing, or snatches, excuse me. 5 alternating arms, all right? So it'll be off a little bit uneven. Then you're going to perform 5 goblet squats with that sand kettlebell. And we are going to be doing 5 rounds. So relatively easy, streamlined. Might be really quick for some people, might be a little long for other people. If you need some modifications, right? If you don't have a sandbag or a sand kettlebell, you could do a dumbbell swing, right? You could do a dumbbell snatch. Now you notice that the snatches we're doing, we're not going all the way to the floor. It's kind of like a hang position. So think of it as a hang snatch today, right? Unless, sorry, let me pull back, unless you are switching your arms. If you are switching your arms, you are gonna come from the floor. Some people like to do them all on one arm. If you do that, I'll demonstrate that here in a second. It kind of looks like so, where I don't go all the way down to the ground. Now, this may be a little easier for some because you're not stopping switching arms, but again, if your hands are not calloused or you're not used to holding on to dumbbells, barbells, kettlebells, and they are kind of smooth, we'll say, it may not feel so pleasant. So I recommend switching today. Switching today, you will be going to the floor. So again, 5 single arm swings, one arm, 5 single arm swings, other arm, 5 kettlebell snatches, alternating arms, 5 squats, 5 rounds. So let me know if you guys get after this. Feel free to leave a comment below, the time below. If you have any questions specifically with the sand kettlebell, again, if you're looking to add to your gym, home gym, or start your home gym, the sand kettlebell is a great piece of equipment. This is 26 pounds. There is a 35 as well as a 44, I believe. The sandbag does not come with sand. You do have to get the sand yourself, but I highly recommend this piece of equipment. It doesn't take up much space. It's easily a doorstop. It's easily somewhere in the corner that you can put away, but it's one of the best pieces of equipment I recommend. Again, if you check them out, the link is below. You can use my code Margo10. I'll give you 10% off your entire order. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Please share this with others. Hopefully it inspires them to move or start moving, or starting them to help them build out their home gym so they can work out when they're at home and not have any excuses in the books.